Alrighty, let's get this update done about the former teacher Christina Formella and the reasons why perhaps she's selling her home, why it's selling kind of like for a steal considering the area. It's in Downers Grove, Illinois. And we will talk about her most recent as of today. Today is Monday, September 15th, getting this done, hopefully with very little editing because I need balance in my life. Okay, the most recent court document I was able to download was August 4th, 2025 for Christina Formella. And then there's updates about her beautiful house. Now, here's the lovely home. It's in Downers Grove, Illinois. It's in the western suburbs of Chicago. And I actually almost encourage my family members, this young, beautiful couple about to get married. She's like a prosecuting attorney. He's an engineer. I almost hit them up and said, hey, you guys might want to look at this house because I believe they're wanting to, move from downtown or near north or wherever into the Chicago suburbs. But I didn't because I was like, well, I don't know what kind of vibes are in this house, but it's beautiful. I think whomever put up this order or offer on the house is getting a steal. There's already pending sale on Christina Formella's house. She once occupied with her husband Michael, and according to court documents, if memory serves, did some crazy kind of nasty things in that house. So
Christina, what happened with the student? The student? Why? Help us understand. Anything you want to say?
You see, I grew up on the south side of Chicago. I actually grew up on the famous Michigan Avenue. Even if you're not from there, you've probably heard of Michigan Avenue. But I didn't grow up on magnificent mile Michigan Avenue downtown. I was all the way south, like in the 9300 block of South Michigan Avenue. And actually on a clear day, growing up there in that house since, when did we move there? I was so young. We might have moved there in 1972 or 1973 or something like that. I was just really, really young. Judge Eugene Pincham, he was our neighbor. He was great to us. I mean, wonderful neighborhood. The city of Chicago isn't always what people make it seem on the news and up, you know what I mean? Growing up there, Chicago was a blessing for me, but I could stand almost in the middle, go towards Michigan Avenue, towards the street on a clear day. I could look straight down and I could actually see the Sears Tower, which is now known as the Willis Tower. Anyway, just to give you an idea of where I grew up in relation to where Christina Formella's house is. We were up on higher land, actually, around 93rd and Michigan, in the West Chesterfield area is what it's technically called in Chicago. And we were up on higher ground and my mom actually designed it that way. She looked for a home that way, so to prevent living in a flooded area. But anyway, that is like 37.5-mile drive over to, from like my house in inner city Chicago, get your bearings, over west to Downers Grove, a really lovely area where Christina used to live in the western suburbs until she didn't. Until she really messed up, as you guys who've been following this case know. That house is being sold and the Formellas are likely gathering all the funds they can for Christina's legal defense, or maybe they realize they can't really live in that home anyway. The proximity, I believe, is too close to Christina's alleged victim, and I think that's another reason they had to sell it. So you might remember this case number I covered. She's going to blame this boy for her adult actions. She was like 28 when this was going on. She's 30 now. But she entered that not guilty plea. 2025 CS 000580. It's titled The People of the State of Illinois versus Christina N. Formella. So on April 14th, I created a YouTube video about it.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
Officer Guzman with Downers Grove. Do you have your license on you?
Yes. Can I?
Yeah, I'm gonna explain. I'm sure you're confused. I'll explain everything to you. You're Christina?
Yes.
Okay, Christina, do me a favor. Can you step out of the car for me? I know you're confused. I'll explain everything to you. You don't have anything on you? You can just grab whatever you need.
Whatever I need.
Yeah, whatever you need, like your phone, your purse, go ahead and grab it.
Is she going somewhere? Or?
Yeah, we're gonna explain everything to you guys.
That video was titled Court Order, Teacher Christina Formella arrives on April 14th, 2025 for court with husband Michael Formella. And I don't know what I said in that video. Maybe I'll pull down some clips, but YouTube surely demonetized it. Maybe after it soared over 100,000 views. Maybe it's the fact that I went over some of Christina's court documents detailing exactly what the former teacher was doing to her alleged student. More and more has come out about this case, and I'm getting more and more documents, as you guys might remember. And I had even explained how I tried to get the body cam video since March, but some kind of court order was enacted right on April 4th. So it was like a cutoff line, and it prevented some of us from getting evidence that had previously been released before the court order. But anyway, I went through and finally the court let me purchase the 8-page Christina Formella PDF. It's titled The People's Amended Verified Petition to Deny Defendant Pretrial Release. Well, she got it anyway.
Go ahead and grab out. We're not going anywhere right now. Of course, yeah.
I don't understand what's going on here.
I get it, yeah. You can go grab your things.
Can you come with me?
Yes. You stay there for right now, sir. Just stay there, but yes, you can. But come on back here.
Should I shut the car off?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Goes off. Okay. So right back over here. So, we do have an investigation going on. We have to talk to you about it at the police department, okay? So we're going to explain everything to you there. It's not my investigation. I don't know the full details. We do have to bring you there, though, okay? So I do have to put you in handcuffs and bring you to the police department. Just a down road. Yes, unfortunately, yes.
I'm like willing to go with you.
I get it, yeah. Unfortunately, we have to do it that way. So do me a favor, we just take this off.
Can I ask you
Of course, yeah. It's not, like I said, it's not my investigation. Obviously, we are here for a reason. So go ahead and turn around for me. So right now, you're just being detained, and there is a detective that needs to talk to you at the police department. So we'll let your husband know. He can just come to the police department as well if he wants to wait for you there.
I'm like...
I get it. You have a lot of questions.
So scared.
Yeah, everything's okay. We just need to talk to you at the police department. That's all. Nothing else on your pocket right now? Anything else?
Just my phone.
Just your phone?
Here.
Okay. Okay. All right, we're heading, sit in the back of this car. On the other side. Once you get to the police department, you'll talk to the detective and he'll explain everything to you.
But you can't even give me like an idea
At the moment,
what this is about?
Other than that it's an investigation, that's all I can really tell you right now. I'm sorry. I wish.
Excuse me, is my husband coming with?
Yes, yeah, he's taking his phone number down. We're staying in touch with him. We're just going to Downer Grove, so 10 minutes away.
No, I know, but I really would prefer that my husband's with me.
Of course.
Am I in trouble? Like, I'm so lost right now. I'm
sure you are. Like I said, I can't answer any questions right now. Just to tell you that right now you're being detained for an investigation and we're bringing you to the police department. And once you get there, they're going to fill you in on everything.
Unless are you able to reach it down there? Sure you don't want a tissue or something?
feeling I'm gonna throw up.
You want a bag?
Yes, please.
Alright. Shauna, can you grab like a bag out of there?
Possibly a truck driver. No complaints tonight though.
Hey, can you get like a bag just in case she gets nauseous? Yeah. I don't know, do we have any of those Nemesis bags like laying around the spot? I figure it's something better than nothing. Or here, if you stay with her, I'll go grab it.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
just kind of put it on the floor here, alright?
Okay.
A few paper towels on the floor here if you need it, alright?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm good.
And then other case documents were rejected. For example, I've been going down and trying to get some, and you'll see rejected, rejected, rejected. And I'm like, why? You know, some of them I probably wasn't detailed enough. Others of them it said, due to the nature of this document, only named parties can obtain this. If you are a party, you will need to come to the clerk's office and request it with a valid ID card. So that makes sense. But let's talk a little bit about Christina's case so you guys know what the heck I'm talking about here. Christina met her husband, Michael, at Concordia University, Chicago. That's when they started dating, so they're college sweethearts. You got another case, college sweethearts gone wrong. But in the body cam video, you can hear her husband, even though they blur him out, you can hear her husband asking the cop, is she going somewhere? Like maybe he thought it was just a routine stop. Oh, were you wearing your seatbelt? Or I caught you going a little fast back there. Or you blew a stop sign. No, it was much deeper than that. And that's when she started hyperventilating at the end. So they brought her in. I can't wait to see all these interview videos. DuPage County prosecutors claimed during Christina's police interview, she tried to blame it all on the boy, the victim. She claimed, oh, he was just obsessed with me because I'm so good looking. That's what she told them. And then she said, you know, her husband was aware of the situation, this stalker after her. But her husband was like, no, I didn't know anything about this kid. Throughout the interview, Christina tried to paint this boy as her stalker. But her husband was like, look, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. And it says, oddly enough, her husband told detectives that he knows nothing about the accuser beyond his status as a soccer player. So I'm assuming this boy is a soccer player. So in that PDF, which I'll just try and be very kind of milquetoast, you know, for YouTube, you have to be a little bit more careful. There is a 3-page felony complaint for Christina. It was filed on March 16th. It shows her 3 counts, and it just kind of shows her height and weight, hair color, and all that stuff. There was objection to this extensive media coverage for this case. Of course, it involves a younger alleged victim, names redacted, and all that. So basically what Christina did was, there was a document that stated this 30-year-old teacher and coach who was employed at Downers Grove South High School since 2020. Basically, she manipulated this student, mistreated this vulnerable student. You guys might know what I mean. Christina was confessing to police she cared too much about the student. And then she's saying, oh, one day he broke into my phone. He had grabbed her phone when it was unattended. He entered her passcode somehow, and he sent messages to his own phone. And then he had deleted the message from her phone and had it saved to his phone as blackmail. She's going through this whole rigmarole to claim this boy did all this stuff instead of claiming she sent these messages we're about to read. So this is how the affair started and how the student's mom caught on to the situation and approached police and told them what was going on. So police are thinking way back in December of 2023, this boy, of course, who will be unnamed, and Christina, they were in a classroom for a tutoring session. That's when the grooming abuse began. The student at that time, he was only a 15-year-old boy, and Christina was a 28-year-old who, of course, should have known better. She's the adult. She's in a position of trust. So this is how she got caught. The court documents say that this boy's cell phone was broken and his mother bought him a new one. And when his mom signed into the cloud account, text messages appeared between her son and Christina. Okay, so this is one of the text exchanges. The boy was like, I love you so, so much, mama. He's calling Christina mama. Ugh. And Christina's like, I love you so much, baby. Even though this morning was short, it was perfect. What was short? The student, I know, baby, it was perfect, baby. So perfect. Christina, I love having with you. Student, I know, baby, I love it so much. It feels so good. It's so passionate. It's so intimate. It's so perfect. I can't believe it. I mean, I don't know what's going on in her household, her head, her marriage or whatever, but I mean, her husband looks like a great guy from the onset, and he's like the heir to this Italian food company or something. And I'm like, oh my goodness. What's happening? When the police questioned the student, he told them he had started texting with Christina a year and a half ago. One time they even FaceTimed when Christina was out of state. So cops confronted Christina like, look, what are these? What are these notes and text messages, everything you have in here? And Christina initially told them, oh, the writings were just, quote, an outlet for her anxiety. And she's like, look, any reference to sex was about my husband. You know, she was trying to worm her way out of it, make up stuff. Now, she did have an initial court appearance. That must have been March 16th, 2025, around in there. The judge denied the prosecutor's motion to detain her. Of course, they wanted to just keep her in jail. But Christina was released with conditions including, okay, no contact with anyone under 18. You can't go into the school where you taught. Let's read some more of the notes they found on Christina's phone in her notes section or whatever. To this boy, I can't imagine her like putting all this onus and blame on the boy. It sounds like Christina is angry that this little boy cheated on her. Oh my goodness, this is why I want the whole document. She wrote, I, once again, from day F1, called your next girlfriend. And it's something about his ex-girlfriend's name. You're so effing predictable and disgusting. Shocker, you cheated on me with her. Can you imagine writing this to a teenage boy as, you know, an older married woman? I mean, she's older than him. I don't mean like she's older. Anyway, she's old enough to know better. All I was to you was somebody to F. I'm not upset. I'm not mad. I'm not any of that. I just lost interest. I went back and screenshotted every single time that I said we should break up until after the wedding and after you graduated. So apparently, yeah, she must have just gotten married sometime back. If I can find wedding photos and stuff, I'll put them here.
All right, the wedding website. A lot of people have messaged me and commented asking about where they could find the wedding website for Christina Formella. However, it was deleted within a couple of days of going viral. But I did take all the photos from it, so if you want to see what was on Christina Formella's wedding website, I'll show you. So this was the front page. It had a section called Home, Our Story, Photos, Q&A, Travel, Registry, Itinerary, and RSVP. I've seen a lot of people saying that they got married in August of 2024, but they actually got married in June, on June 22nd, 2024, on the Amalfi Coast in Italy. These are their engagement photos. I guess up until this point, she thought she was having just like a couple's photo shoot. I need to know when these were taken. Those flowers are gorgeous. Are those real? And then apparently after the wedding in Italy, they came home and had a reception and like a big, huge event for like their wedding in the States. Someone that like knows them sort of said that they had like damn near 3 weddings, like an Italy one, this backyard one in the pool, and then another one apparently. I don't know, but that was just something someone said. But we've seen the photos from 2, so looks super fun. I put some of these photos together. Hold on. What a shame. So this is Christina's Instagram. She has deleted that a long time ago. But apparently they honeymooned in Paris. Look at all these gorgeous photos. I do not understand, you guys. I just don't. And y'all, I'm going to show you the Hotel Santa Caterina. Oh my gosh, stunning. Like, you're on the Amalfi Coast in Italy. This is your wedding. Oh my gosh. Just look at that. Wow. I'm pretty sure like the hotel in the center is the one that she got married at. Wonder how much it costs, like seriously.
Last summer. So she got married in 2024, and this was going on since December of 2023, this affair. Christina is saying she told this little boy we should break up until after the wedding and after you graduated. And every single effing time you came back and convinced me it would be fine. I initiated every single breakup, only for you to end things, saying you couldn't get over it. You ruined us. She's telling a teenager. Boy, is this like Mary Kay Letourneau or what? I warned you. We should have never started dating a long effing time ago, and you gaslit me and convinced me it was fine every single time because that's who you are. Again, 28, 29, 30-year-old woman writing this to what, a 15, 16-year-old boy? She's claiming he gaslit her. Isn't that rich? We will never ever be together again. Sounds like Taylor Swift. I'm not a second choice. I'm the best thing you'll ever have, even with all of my mistakes. You, once again, waited and strung me along until it was convenient for you. It broke me last time. This time, it changed me. I'm not sad. I'm effing mad that I let a 16-year-old F with me like that. And I made a promise to myself that I never will let any guy F with me like that again. Ever. She's like embarrassed or saying like this 16-year-old played me. No, he's probably just being a 16-year-old. You know, you're 28 and married. Why are you worried about this kid in this intimate, horrible way? In the end, she wrote, we both lost. You lost the girl who would have stuck with you through thick and thin, who would have changed anything about herself to make you happy. And I lost the person I was before I met you. Now, under a section entitled Manifestations, it read, blank is going to reach out to me soon. She's hoping this boy will reach out to her, so she's trying to manifest his presence. Blank is going to reach out to me soon and try to fix things between us. In the meantime, I'm going to live my best life knowing he's not the person I thought he was and that he is beneath me. Oh my goodness. Now, beyond that, it says, in addition, detectives found another note. So she must be just writing in her notepad on her phone or wherever. This one was dated November 11th, 2024. It says the following in a relevant part. Blank and I will connect again soon in a positive way. Your manifestations, your manifestations are working, girl. I was going to say they're not working, but they're connecting in a positive way because he will get his justice for anything you did to him. We will both get the closure we need in order to move on in a healthy way. We will be able to be a part of each other's lives forever. Careful what you wish for. We will be in each other's lives forever. We will be able to love each other while also living our own lives. Yeah, live your own life, girl, because woo, you might be going up the river for a long time, even though she's entered a not guilty plea. They have this evidence. Now, getting the evidence is a whole nother ballgame. I mean, let me just tell you really quickly what I've been through. Now, we know that body cam came out March 16th. It started going viral. So the body cam videos were released and they went viral. They showed the cops pulling up on Christina, like following her and her husband. And she has on like this hoodie and she's just like, I don't know what's going on. And can my husband come with me? And her husband is like, oh, you know, is she going somewhere? Christina was arrested that day. So that was March 16th, 2025. And she started hyperventilating. You know, at first she's like, can my husband come with me? And on the, you know, right there in the body cam, the transport video, she's kind of like, you know, can my husband come with me? And then she makes this move like, are you going to listen to me? It's kind of funny.
So 10 minutes away.
No, I know, but I really would prefer that my husband's with me.
Of course.
Of course, the crime isn't funny. Her attitude was funny. It was kind of, she has this entitled attitude, seemingly materialistic. There's a lot going on here. It's a family, obviously, of means and money, attractive people, popular people, beautiful wedding and all that. And oh my goodness, I keep thinking of how the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. So I'm like, whoever gets Christina's home, I hope it's someone righteous, a great couple, family, whomever who can enjoy it and not do what Christina did. So she has all these felonies. She found out her charges, which I will just say involve 1 count of criminal SA. There's a lot more counts now since we first started getting documents on this case. She started hyperventilating when she came through, and she was just like, oh, now I know what I'm going in for. So the 8-page document goes into graphic detail about, at first, Christina was saying it was one and only one time Christina copulated. I know it's SA, but I'm just trying to use different words, synonyms, and everything. I need to pull out the thesaurus in my brain. She allegedly claimed, only one time in this classroom with a victim at Downers Grove South High School sometime in December 2023. That's what initially came out, but it turns out it was a lot more than that. Allegedly, I believe in her home. I have to remember, just trying to get all these documents. But people really glommed onto this case because Christina, as an older woman, a trusted person in position of authority, she was text messaging the victim and saying how much she loved him. It's just gross. Anyway, I'll let you read the documents. I can't get into too much on YouTube as usual. The mom of this young man discovered these text messages and they went to police like, what is this? So that's when she started getting in trouble back in March 2025. And her husband, Michael, is standing by her side. And a lot of people are like, wait a minute. They expected Michael to dump Christina, but he's been walking hand in hand with her. It's weird. And Christina had written like different journals, different notes. She was ranting about this little boy, basically. He was 16 years old, at least. I don't know when it began, but she's like 30 and she's ranting about this victim cheating on her. She was predicting his next girlfriend. And so she's like, I'm mad that I let a 16-year-old F with me. And people were like, wait, what? You're an adult woman? And Christina was confronted with all these notes and stuff. And she was just saying, oh no, it's just an outlet for my anxiety. She entered a not guilty plea. She had a short hearing Monday morning, April 15th. And her and her husband just arrived with the legal team, and supposedly Michael was blindsided by what Christina was doing, but somehow he must have found it in his own heart, or I don't know what the move is, what's the plan, but he's sticking by her. They had just gotten married last summer. They were college sweethearts and they met at this Concordia University, Chicago. That's where they started dating. A very cute couple. You hear a lot of rumors. I don't know what's true, so I don't know what's going on with this couple, but whoa. And I even saw the judge was not allowing anyone to watch the hearings via Zoom. And it makes sense, of course, because of the nature of this case. But even getting the documents was proving to be like, just this feat at some point. So by June 17th, there were more court documents and Christina was walking free eventually. So again, I got all these documents that detail her order for electronic monitoring. This was dated June 17th, 2025. Christina has to remain at least 5,000 feet away from these following locations: from the victim himself, alleged victim, the alleged victim's residence, the alleged victim's workplace, and the alleged victim's school. And there was a pre-trial release order dated June 17th, 2025, and Christina can have no contact with the victim. And then she would have to appear again on August 4th, 2025. So that's the order I just received today, paid for. And so then there's the pre-trial release. There was all these different court date cancellations. If stuff gets pushed back, she must have great lawyers though, because she was able to get out of there. I mean, she didn't have to wait in jail all this time like some people do. So at first we thought it was just one time, which is bad enough. I mean, a person in a position of trust and like this vulnerable child, and she's an adult. It's just horrific. We don't know why we're seeing. I hope it's not an increase, but some people think it feels like an increase in these cases of especially women, and their students. Anyway, when she showed up in June and walked free, of course, I went on a hunt for more court documents. And then I found out, oh, it wasn't just one time of this assault in school, which would be bad enough. This SA happened at least 50 times with this teenage boy. So it happened around 45 times at the Downers Grove South High School in suburban Chicago, and she was the special ed teacher. That's according to the prosecutor's office. And this also happened 5 times at her house. So this beautiful house, Michael, her husband, is still walking by her side. Allegedly, she brought this boy to her house at least 5 times. She was telling this boy, oh, she didn't plan to marry Michael, but then I guess once she married him, she's like, I will leave him, I'll get millions of dollars. Even when she was on the Italian vacation with her husband Michael, she was still texting this boy, you know, back in Chicagoland. So as an update, Christina is facing 55 charges, including aggravated SA, criminal SA, grooming. She could serve up to 60 years in prison if convicted. So this is, there's a lot of documents. I ordered a lot, and of course, some of them were rejected. And it makes sense, they're protecting the minor involved. But the ones that I have been able to, you know, pay for and download, you can find them over on Patreon, my Patreon post. So speaking of that famous body cam video that went viral, Christina's pulling up like, what's going on? You know, with her hoodie on and everything. And she's a trip. She has said some strange things, like she's been blaming other people for these charges and, you know, all these misunderstandings about her writings. And she feels like she's too pretty and that's why people came after her. She better thank God she is not waiting for her trial. But speaking of that body cam video, the house can be, you know, that's featured in the body cam video, that's what's being sold. So viewers could see that house where Christina was caught off guard. Obviously, her husband was caught off guard, but they drove into the driveway of that house. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,430 square foot house on Hughes Avenue. Of course, I won't give the exact address, in Downers Grove, Illinois. It sits on like more than an 8,100 square foot lot. Really nice. So there is a pending sale for nearly $570,000, which some folks are considering kind of a steal for that home with those features. And it's only steps away from this beautiful Dunham Park Place, described as a serene outdoor space nestled in the heart of Downers Grove, Illinois. It offers a peaceful retreat for visitors to enjoy nature, relax, and something. But yeah, the western suburbs of Chicago, some of them are really gorgeous. I think I was actually in Downers Grove. I drove through there last month. It's beautiful. You can go, like if you go from the city of Chicago, let's say you're near the White Sox park, used to be Comiskey Park, you know, the real inner city, and you go from there. Like Chicago is so segregated. It's just what I'm used to, how I grew up, and I didn't realize it was so different other places, but very segregated. And then very lovely parts, you know, the promontory point, the point on the lake juts out into Lake Michigan. That's near where I went to high school. Oh, and by the way, as an aside, because I know I still have to do Brian Koberger stuff, I went to high school in Hyde Park, Chicago, and Brian Koberger and the other Idaho 4Ks convicted mass killer, he actually apparently stopped in Chicago. Thank God for Redditors who can find out the most amazing things. Apparently he has stopped in Chicago at this vegan restaurant, and thank God for, Anjanette Levy. She's the one who got the proper date for this photo where he stopped in Chicago en route driving out west before, you know, this is the summer of 2022, before he moved into, you know, WSU. So that's the Hyde Park area. Who knew he was even there? So back to Christina Formella's case. Yes, she lives out in those western suburbs, or she did. Beautiful area. Like if you're going from, you know, downtown, inner city, certain parts are cool, certain parts are like, whoa, you're like, you know, I'm locking the doors, okay, let's get out of here. And then making it out west, I mean, people who are seeing it for the first time, I don't know, it amazes, angers, however feelings people have about it. But going out to the western suburbs, you're like, whoa, Oak Brook, gorgeous. Michael Jordan used to have a house out there. I don't know if he still does. I mean, these beautiful homes. So that's kind of the area, Downers Grove, kind of out there, western suburbs, where Christina could have enjoyed life. So I got to thank the people on the Reddit subs, and thanks to True Crime with M on TikTok and all these people for really encouraging me to update this case. But I want to take a look at her house again before I close out. I mean, it is really pretty. All these amenities. I mean, it's great. Some people might call it a great starter home, but still more than $500,000. And if you look at the homes in the area, I mean, some of these suckers are like 700 grand and up, and some are, 400 something thousand. I guess it depends on, of course, when it was built. Very beautiful, beautiful home. I mean, it looks staged really well. Those wooden floors and just, I mean, there's this fireplace, this great kind of picture window. Of course, the way it's staged looks gorgeous, this brown kind of theme. And they make them look always so like, woo, those realty photos. But it's like little nooks for, photos and the big screen TV. And it just looks really pretty. It looks gorgeous. You can see like the patio lighting and the artwork and, the wooden shelves, like those floating shelves, the kitchen. And of course, I'm sure not everything stayed here, but stuff like the floating shelf should if the person wants it. Beautiful wood type theme, gorgeous wooden floors. It looks like throughout almost wooden floors, bathroom. It looks really well decorated. I see carpeting in some other room with another fireplace. Oh my goodness. This is why I nearly encouraged my family members to make an offer on this house, because I was like, whoa, this would be great, them to get in there when they maybe start their family or whatever. What a cute, gorgeous house, gorgeous area, right near a park. You can walk right over with the kids. They have like a weight room or something in the basement. Looks like a nice finished basement, nice yard, you even see a hot tub back there. I don't know if that would stay or not, maybe. And a deck and the lighting and all that. Really, really pretty. So I wonder who will purchase it. It was built, I believe, in 1987. But it looks like it's been kind of updated since then. So I'm going to keep my eye on what happens with this house. It says likely to sell faster than 92% of nearby homes. And there's been a lot of views. There's been a lot of saves. As of this writing, it's only been on Zillow 32 days. I think it sold, it might have been after 2 or 3 weeks, they got an offer on this house. So you can tell it moved quickly. So yeah, the most recent document I went through and downloaded, and I just requested a different order too. But the most recent document I got was August 4th. The court document just detailed Christina's next court appearance. Pretty much the gist of it was defendant present in open court on pre-trial release with attorneys, so she's able to, get out and walk around. Defendant Christina basically is ordered to appear in courtroom 4000 on October 14th, 2025 at 9:30 a.m. So I'm wondering, that's another month from now. In fact, I plan to be taking another trip to Chicagoland around that time, so I don't know if I can. I won't actually be, I was thinking, in Chicago that time. I plan to be elsewhere, but I keep thinking every time I'm like near Downers Grove, I'm like, can I get to the courthouse? Can I get to the courtroom? Can I? But we'll see what we can get online, what's allowed. I feel like they should give us the court documents as long as they ensure that they are redacting the victim's information correctly. As long as the alleged victim is protected, I feel like they should give us more information, since we can't watch it on Zoom, of course. It has to be in person, and we always like to see what actually happens in court. But my thought is Christina going to ever switch her plea from not guilty to guilty? Is Christina ever going to switch and submit instead of a not guilty plea? Will she take a plea deal? And, of course, I'm sure she doesn't want to do 60 years. She's used to, obviously, the finer things in life. Oh, it's so sad. Like, where was her brain? I don't know what was going on in her marriage. No matter what was going on in her marriage, it's just horrible. I feel bad. She didn't turn to God to help whatever's going on there. And of course, everyone makes mistakes. I'm not saying Christina should have done it, but I think if she would have made a mistake with a consenting adult, that would have been better. Not in God's eyes. I'm not saying this is okay in Christianity, don't get me wrong. But in my mind, I'm thinking if Christina had just been with some dude her age, she wouldn't be in this mess. It wouldn't have been right, but I'm trying to say, why prey on these vulnerable students, you know, this person who was supposed to be in her care? And like, I think with some of these women, you know, they're maybe reliving their glory days. Or you guys watch that, what's that, Unknown Number? I mean, that was just the weirdest thing. And trying to understand the psychology of it all. These women who are kind of crushing on these young boys or something. It's like, ew. It's just ew. Like, find out what's happening in here. Like, let God renew the mind so you won't be facing 60 years. You won't be harming some 16-year-old. I don't know how old he is now. I try not to know much about him at all. You know, I've seen, you know, people redact his initials. I'm sure people in Downers Grove, a lot of them at the high school know who he is, but I hope he's protected. So I'm wondering, will Christina take a plea deal eventually? Because, I mean, I think there's so much evidence. At first, it was like, okay, it happened this one time. Yeah, you're busted. Now it's like, whoa, all these counts came out. Oh, it happened that many times? And it happened, you brought him to your home? And I forget where Michael was. I'll have to dig through and try and find, again, as many court documents as I'm missing, because some were rejected for certain reasons. You have to be a party to the case, but others might have been rejected just from they want the name and date exact and the way you have to order them and then pay for them. It's a little bit different than other cases or court systems I've dealt with. But anyway, keep checking the links below, because as I get more documents, I'll just keep updating them. We'll see what happens October 14th with Christina. But I couldn't help but think of this verse with her case and with this home sale going on and everything. Proverbs 13:22. A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children, but a sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. That's what I think about with her case. I think about this gorgeous home she had, this gorgeous lifestyle, traveling, I mean, gorgeous wedding, all these benefits that a lot of people aspire to, a lot of people don't get, and she kind of just threw them away. No matter what, we'll see what happens with the case. Of course, stranger things have happened. She could always do no jail time. She could walk free. Who knows? She could maybe get the max. Maybe she could get 60 years. Maybe she could get a plea strike somewhere in the middle. Chances are, with all this evidence she's caught with, she's going to do some time. And I can't imagine just like being in that position. I'm sure there's so many things she would have done differently, but I hope people just get the help they need prior to harming anyone. If they even have these thoughts, like, go to a therapist, drop down on your knees, pray to God, and ask him to show you, okay, how can I change? What can I do instead? Because this obviously isn't right. Whew. So I'll keep checking on this case. This one is a little bit different. We won't necessarily get, you know, all the court hearings and see all the stuff, but I don't know what's happening with this family. I mean, I'm not saying her husband should leave her. It's just something so different that I don't know what's happening. But again, you guys know oftentimes I share the videos from Abby Blabby, since she is local too, and she also gets a lot of good documents. So stay tuned to her, and I share a lot of her breaking updates, and stay tuned. When I can get more court documents, I'll let you know. In the meantime, at some point, I still plan to also get back to reading Brian Koberger's, all those documents. I just like to do as many variety of cases as I can and still have some balance so I can go like work out and have a life too. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.